Welcome along everyone to Silverstone. Britain has returned the highest number of F1 World Champions of any country that's taken part in this glorious sport. We take our racing very seriously here, as you can tell here today at the British Grand Prix. Silverstone Circuit then is 3.6 miles long, has a total of 18 corners, and of course is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hangar Straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Fernando Alonso yesterday puts him on pole position, and Alex Albon lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Verstappen, Magnussen, Leclerc, Sargent, Sainz, Russell, Perez, Bottas, Hülkenberg, Joe, De Vries, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Ocon, and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Well, it's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are three big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. And judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Right then, the formation lap has started, and I must say the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and for grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate, as this race, in these conditions, will require a lot of focus. We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. We're not certain which is the best tyre right now, dries or inters. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Currently P11. Currently P11. Okay, Russell's ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on a fresh set of inters. Perez behind. They're on a fresh set of inters. Okay, gap to leader, 4.9 seconds. Lap is at 1:39.3. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now. Gap to your teammate ahead is 4.5 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. They're in second. Your last lap time was a 1:39.8. That's us in 10th position. Okay, Magnussen ahead. Less than a second separates you. They're on a fresh set of inters. Okay, Russell's behind you now. They're on a fresh set of inters. Our gap to first place is 7.1 seconds. You've got 18 laps until your pit window opens, and that's 49 laps to go. Okay, you're in the top 10. Sainz ahead, and gap to the car in front is 1.2 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:40.4. Okay, we're dropping back by around 4/10 a lap. Give it everything you got. So the gap to the car ahead, 1.5 seconds. car in front by about a second a lap. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. Brilliant, nice move, keep going. You're pulling out a second a lap on the car behind, really good stuff. About the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good.
Unbelievable.
Okay, that's P7, you've moved into P7. Okay, Sights is ahead of you. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 0.9 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 40.7. All right, you're falling back by 1/10 a lap. Right, keep pushing, you're gaining on the car ahead. Trailing our teammate by 6.6 seconds. They're on old intermediates. They're in fourth. Your last lap time was a 1:40.6. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 5.2 seconds. P6, you got P6. Leclerc ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 4.8 seconds. They're on old intermediates. That's Sainz behind you now. Our gap behind is 1.5 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, so gap to the leader is 8.7 seconds. You've got 11 laps until your pit window opens, and that's 42 laps to go. car ahead's beginning to pull away, you know what to do. Yellow flag. Our gap to the car in front is 5.3 seconds.
There's something strange with the engine.
Okay, copy that. We are checking it.
There's something strange with the engine.
Okay, caution, caution. Virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta on your dash. Okay, we can take you this lap. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace. Okay, go, go, go! Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Okay, 18th, you're in 18th place. De Vries is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 1.7 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Ocon's behind you. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 4.5 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 40 laps to go now. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 0.9 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 13 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 42.3. P13. Okay, Piastri just ahead. Push hard, push hard. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old intermediates. Gasly's behind you. Less than a second separates you. They're on old intermediates. The distance to the leader is 25.8 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 38 laps to go. Just ahead, push for that position. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 0.9 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:42.3. This is brilliant. You're taking 2.5 seconds out of them each lap. Russell's ahead of you now. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 9.2 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 16 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 41.0. Good job. You're gaining by a full second a lap at the moment. place, you're in 8th place. That's Russell just ahead, push for the position. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 7.7 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Magnussen's behind you. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 2.9 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, gap to leader, 24.5 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, there are 35 laps left in this race. Gap to your teammate ahead is 16.2 seconds. They're on old intermediates. They're in 4th. Time last lap was a 1:41.2. Okay, Russell's ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 3.9 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 19 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:41.0. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up. Okay, gap ahead is 3.3 seconds. Trailing our teammate by 12.1 seconds. position, still looking good. Russell's ahead of you now, and gap to the car in front is 2.4 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 20 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1:40.9. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap. Seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain. Okay, not sure whether dries or inters are faster. We're right on the crossover. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff. That's P7 now, P7, Sainz ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old intermediates. Russell behind, they're on old intermediates. Our gap to first place is 19.3 seconds. Look after these tyres now, you want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 30 laps till the end now. Gap to your teammate ahead is 9.0 seconds. They're on old intermediates. They're in fourth. Time last lap was a 1 minute 41.2. Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. got some information on the Hamilton for you. They seem to have an issue.
I don't know what's wrong. Can I not reset this thing?
Caution, caution. Okay, the incident's been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Come on. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Good work, we're in P4. Perez ahead. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 1.6 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Okay, car behind trailing us, 2.8 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, so gap to the leader is 18.4 seconds. The pit window is open, pit window currently open. Okay, 28 laps to go. Fernando's in the pits. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.8 seconds. Fastest man on track right now. He's just posted the quickest lap of the race. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up. Okay, that last lap was a 1:40.1. Position, front of the pack. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, gap to the car behind. 6.0 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Your pit window's now open. Pit window is open. And 26 laps to go now. there, the car behind has newer tyres. Car behind on newer tyres, you know what to do. Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive. Last lap was a 1 minute 40.8. Understood, stopping this lap. That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Sat in P8, well done. That's Russell just ahead, push for the position. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 4.8 seconds. They're on a fresh set of inters. Magnussen's behind. We're leading the car behind by 11.1 seconds. They're on old intermediates. The distance to the leader is 28.3 seconds. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops. Let's go, 24 laps to go. And the gap behind us is 12.2 seconds. Fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:37.0. We don't currently have the data for that request. strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff. Okay, Russell's ahead. Okay, gaps in the car ahead is 2.4 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 6 laps old. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 38.2. And you're closing by 4/10 a lap. Keep it going. Currently trailing our teammate by 11.3 seconds. They're on old intermediates. They're in third. Your last lap time was a 1:38.3. 7th place. Russell's ahead of you now. Less than a second separates you. They're on old intermediates. That's Sainz behind you now. They're on old intermediates. Okay, gap to leader, 26.3 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 19 laps to go. Okay, good work. Great pass. It's Hamilton ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 1.0 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, they've done 10 laps on those tyres. They've got some kind of mechanical problem. Time last lap was a 1 minute 39.9. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. Keep going. That's P5, you're in P5. It's Perez ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old intermediates. Hamilton's behind you now. Less than a second separates you. They're on old intermediates. They seem to have an issue. Our gap to first place is 24.6 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 17 laps to go now. Ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 8.2 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 11 laps old now, and the time last lap was a 1:39.4. This is excellent stuff. You're closing in by 7/10 a lap. Okay, so this light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Inters seems to be the fastest tyre for now. Gap to the car in front is 7.6 seconds. Is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done. 1 minute 39.2. Gap to the car ahead, 7.0 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. Your last lap time was a 1:39.6. We're gaining by around 0.2 per lap. Keep going. Is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 1.4 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Time last lap was a 1 minute 39.4. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 6.9 seconds. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of it. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 6.8 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Perez behind. Our gap behind is 1.4 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, so gap to the leader is 23.0 seconds. Your pit window is open. Pit window currently open. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. 5 seconds. Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive. Fernando's ahead of you. Our gap to the car in front is 6.0 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 18 laps old, and the time last lap was a 1:39.9. This is excellent stuff. You're closing in by 7/10 a lap. Behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done. Gap ahead is 5.9 seconds. Behind you. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 2.7 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 19 laps old. Your last lap time was a 1:39.8. moment is 4.4 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, they've done 22 laps on those tyres. Time last lap was a 1:41.1. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap. We're in P4. Norris just ahead, push for the position. Okay, so the gap to the car ahead, 3.8 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Perez behind. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 3.0 seconds. They're on old intermediates. The distance to the leader is 20.6 seconds. Your pit window's now open, pit window is open. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. Dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive. Yellow flag. Okay, clear. Lando's ahead of you now. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.7 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Their tyres are 24 laps old. And the time last lap was a 1:40.4. Good job. You're gaining by a full second a lap at the moment. Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive. Laps of fuel remaining. Ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trading the car ahead by. 1.3 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, they've done 25 laps on their tyres. Your last lap time was a 1:40.7. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap. You're increasing the gap on the car behind by 0.5 a lap. 4 laps of fuel remaining. 4th position, you're in 4th position. Norris just ahead, push for the position. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old intermediates. Perez is behind you. Okay, car behind trailing us, 4.5 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Okay, gap to leader, 18.1 seconds. Your pit window is open, pit window currently open. 2 laps left, next time by will be your final lap. Okay, you've got P3, well done. Okay, gap to the car ahead is 2.5 seconds. They're on old intermediates. Norris is behind you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old intermediates. Our gap to first place is 18.3 seconds. Your pit window's now open, pit window is open. 2 laps left, next time by will be your final lap. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Yes! Woo! Well done, mate.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. The gap at the top of the championship has been cut down after a difficult race today for our championship leader. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Max Verstappen seemed to just effortlessly weave through the other drivers today without a care in the world. He was definitely my driver of choice.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Aston Martin move up to the top of the standings. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.